Hey, welcome to the channel. It's Carolyn. Today I have another past life reading for you. So if you're drawn to watch this video, if you feel something in the thumbnail or the title resonates for you, definitely stay tuned. If not, that's okay. I'm going to have my past life playlist linked to the cards above. And if there's nothing in your past life that's resonating for you, I'll have my other playlist of collective readings and pick a pile readings linked above as well, so that you can find something to give you guidance on your life right now. If you're new to the channel, I want to say welcome. Please subscribe. I would love to have you a part of this family. I do more readings like this, but I also do other educational videos to help you develop your intuition, to help you wherever you're at on your spiritual journeys. So if you've been wanting to learn more about yourself and your own spiritual abilities, this is definitely going to be the channel for you. Also, if you like to learn tarot in a fun way, I just posted a video teaching you the tarot cards using Taylor Swift songs, but I also have an entire playlist where I use different pop culture, TV shows, and movies to help you understand tarot better. Basically, if you love tarot, Disney, and Taylor Swift, you're on the right channel. If this reading resonates and you're drawn to leave a donation, I greatly appreciate that. Any support, whether it's leaving a donation, subscribing to the channel, giving this video a big thumbs up, or sharing with others, helps me because it allows me to make more content like this for you. And if you want to purchase your own reading, I do sell them. You can check out my Etsy shop, or you can message me on TikTok, Facebook, or Instagram to get a custom reading. And so looking at your cards today, you have Atlantis, the Three of Pentacles, Communal Living, Health, Knighthood, and the Three of Cups, Biblical Father, Eight of Pentacles, and the Page of Cups. So in this past life, I feel like you were very connected to water with this Atlantis card. I think that your lifestyle had you living either very close to the water, or you were living on the water in a ship. It feels like you were living with others. It was kind of like a group of others. So not necessarily just your family. It feels like it was more than that with the communal living. And so that's where I feel like it could have been you living on a ship, or you were this very tight-knit, close community where you all depended on one another and you really lived off the land, so to speak. And so I think your diet was very pescatarian. I think that you ate a lot of fish because that's what was around you. That was your resource that you had. And with the Three of Pentacles, you definitely were very sociable with the people in your life. You were very well liked, I think, but it's almost giving me the energy, if you think of the Little Mermaid, if you know Flounder, where he's friends with Ariel. So he's social in that regard because other people make him outgoing, but he himself does have fears, concerns, worries. You got along with everyone and you played your role, you did what you needed to do. But you did not necessarily love interacting with everyone. It feels like by nature you were a little bit more introverted, and so you had to be forced to be extroverted. And so long term, I don't think it was something that you actually enjoyed, even though you made it work for you because this was your lifestyle. You didn't know another way. And it's not exactly like you had other options, so you made it work for you. But do I think you loved interacting with people on the daily like this? No, I don't. And so I feel like that distaste for socializing with others and being extroverted has followed you into this lifetime and made you a little bit more introverted because it was not something that you wanted to do, it was something that you had to do. And now when we are getting into how you died, you have the Health and Knighthood and the Three of Cups. Again, this is bringing that sense of sisterhood, brotherhood, being connected with those around you. So when you have the Health card, it makes me think of a disease. And it was something where you didn't have the medicine at your disposal or to your knowledge that would have kept you alive. And so it feels like you were trying to work with the advancements on technology that you had with the Three of Cups here. It feels like you and the other people around you who got sick, you were all doing what you had knowledge of at the time to try and help you, but it simply just was not enough. I don't think that this affected you too young, so it's not like you had this tragic death. To me, it feels more like it was expected, so you were at the age when a lot of people would get sick and would die. So it was something where it was sad, people cared about you, but it was not unexpected, and it also didn't blindside you in any way. I think that you knew it was a possibility, as did everyone, and unfortunately your immune system was just not strong enough. And so in this lifetime, I get the sense that while you were working with everyone, you were very social, you did have some disagreements or unsatisfaction with the way of living that you felt you could not fully express and you couldn't do anything about. So it feels to me there was a lot that you disagreed with, a lot that you disliked, but during this lifetime you just kept that buried down and you did not act on it. So this is stuff that not anyone in your life would have truly known about. They might have heard you say certain things here and there in private, but it was not anything that you were openly vocal about because you did not want to cause too many issues in your life. And so it was something where maybe people could tell you were frustrated, but you really wouldn't go into it, and it's not like you ever tried to leave or run away. It was more just like you were unhappy with the circumstance but didn't do anything about it. And it feels like this has to go with the restrictions and the regulations confining your control in this community that you were a part of. It kind of feels like everyone had a set role to help out, and everyone enjoyed doing that because everyone felt like they were doing their part. But I think, and I'm not sure if it was the leaders of the community or just your parents, specifically your father, who was regulating what you were doing, and you felt that it was unfair for the amount that you were helping the community with what you got back in rewards. You felt like you and other people in the community were doing a lot of work, a lot of the labor, and you felt like you were not reaping the rewards that you deserved for it, and you felt like other people were doing a lot less and reaping more rewards. So it felt like there was this disconnect where, you know, you have all this stuff you want to do, but you can't do it because you're stuck working. And so I feel like in this past lifetime, you were not happy with your life. And I feel that the way it's carried over into this lifetime is that there's a little bit of a correction because you did not like this communal living environment. You did not like this like tight, close-knit community. Not that you didn't enjoy and appreciate the support, but you didn't like the restrictions and the limitations that it almost boxed you into. And so in this lifetime, I think you actually are an introvert. I think you keep to yourself. I think that you can be a little bit shy and quiet and timid than the other people in your life. You do need people to kind of pull you out of your shell. I think that you only have a handful of close connections in this lifetime, and you don't really keep people or friendships passively. If you're working in a place with other people, you know, you do have your co-workers that you depend on for work, but outside of that, I think you keep to yourself. You're very private. I don't think you really let a lot of people in, and I think even the relationships you do have, it's very few, very selective, and even those, it's a little bit hard for you to navigate because you are reluctant to be open. It's very hard for you to express yourself and communicate and to share with them because you don't even like to be vulnerable with yourself. I sense in this lifetime that there is this block when it comes to being dependent on others. And so it's like you're very independent. You do things for yourself, so much so that you build these walls up around you that you don't entirely know how to scale and get to the other side of. And so I think that this even bleeds into your family. I think you might be estranged from your parents, or there could be some tensions between you two. I'm also sensing that you just might not be very close with them. So it's like, yeah, you love them, you care about them, but they don't really know like who you are as a person. Like you're their child, but they don't know who you are outside of that. And so it's almost like you keep people in your family at an arm's length away, and you just keep to yourself. And I think in this lifetime, you don't really have too many fulfilling emotional relationships. You more so focus with the Eight of Pentacles on your career, on work, on money, on status. So it's almost like you are trying to work really hard and hit these milestones of achievements that people can look at like on social media and see that you're doing good for yourself, and you use that to like fuel you. And so it's like you're thinking of what more you want, but you're thinking of it in like the material sense, and I think you're hoping that's going to bring you some sort of fulfillment. I definitely sense that you have a difficult connection when it comes to your own spirituality and or religion with the biblical card here, because in this past lifetime, that's where the rules and the regulations came from. And so it's like in this lifetime, it's like you're so independent so that no one can tell you what to do. It's like you don't like authority. You don't handle authority well. And so because of that, it's like you don't really feel like there's any type of belief system that works for you because you don't want to be controlled. And basically, I feel like you don't want to put yourself into what you think is a cult. You don't want to allow other people to think for you and make you do things because you have to, because that's a system, because that's the way that it has been. You don't like that lack of control. And so that's why in this lifetime you're hyper independent, because you're trying to reclaim your control and authority over your life. And what I think that your spirit guides want you to know is that in this lifetime, there can be a balance. You can find this emotional fulfillment, whether it's through the emotional relationships in your life, whether it's through spirituality and religion. You can find this inner fulfillment in a way where you're not letting it dictate your life, where you're not letting it control you, and you're not letting it hold you back. I think that's the big thing you have to learn how to navigate, is setting boundaries with these other activities or people in your life so that you still get to be you. Because in this past lifetime, you didn't get to express yourself. You had to hide, ignore, and bury your dislike for things. And so in this life, I would encourage you to be more open about that, but still let people in. And the first step to doing that is learning how to be vulnerable with yourself. Because I think you have this tendency from this past life where you just take things on and you bury it. You take things on, you bury it. You take things on, you bury it. Instead of actually processing it and addressing it. And so you're not vulnerable with yourself. Therefore, how can you be vulnerable with other people in your life? That's why even your own spirituality is hard, because it requires this level of faith and vulnerability that you are not willing to tap into. And so in order to find fulfillment outside of these material things, and maybe work on fixing any of these relationships if you feel it's worth it, is to do shadow work, beginning with how to teach yourself how to be vulnerable and how to sit in that uncomfortableness and learn to become comfortable with it. I would really encourage you to practice words of affirmation and being a little bit kinder to yourself, being a little bit more patient and graceful with yourself as you unlearn these habits that stem from this past life. Because I think learning and understanding this lesson is what's been blocking you, that you need to learn how to undo in this lifetime in order to actually find fulfillment. And so it's very important that you begin to do the shadow work. You start to understand your own thought patterns and behaviors so that you can correct them in a way that's healthy for you. And when I talk about rebuilding any of these emotional connections, only do that if there's like a healthy situation at hand. If there's actual reasons that are valid for ending relationships with people, then you don't need them. You can walk away from them and find other people to form healthy relationships with. But for those of you where this is something that you blocked because of your own hyper independence, it is worth reconsidering once you learn how to be more vulnerable so that you can have a healthy relationship, so that you don't have to be estranged. And so I hope that this reading gave you the stepping stone you need in order to reflect on your life and figure out what you need to do in order to find more fulfillment. So if this resonates for you, let me know in the YouTube comments down below. Also share this video with others who need to see it. And if you want to leave a donation, I greatly appreciate that. Any support really helps me out. If you want to purchase your own reading, all my links to contact me is going to be in the description box down below. I'm going to have other videos of mine linked in the cards above that you can watch next. And if you're not already subscribed, please do so. I would love to have you a part of this family, and I can't wait to see you all in my next video. I hope you have a good one. Bye.